Earth had never seen anything like it. It started with a message, not from another country or a satellite, but from space. Far beyond the moon, far beyond Mars. The signal came in clear and strong, translated by computers almost instantly to the planet Earth. It read, "You are hereby ordered to cease all military shipbuilding and submit to galactic oversight. Further defiance will be met with force." The message spread fast. Governments called emergency meetings. Scientists tried to trace where it came from. Soldiers were put on alert. People everywhere talked about it, watched the sky, wondered what would happen next. Daniel Harper sat in a small room at UN headquarters staring at the message on the screen. He was young, only 35, but already known for his sharp mind and calm voice. He wasn't a soldier or a scientist, but a diplomat. And now, he was one of the few allowed to speak on Earth's behalf. "They think we're a threat," he said quietly to Maggie Bell, who sat across from him. Maggie was older, in her late 40s. She used to fly fighter jets, then help design defense systems before retiring. Now she worked as an advisor. She crossed her arms and frowned. "We don't even have ships out past Mars," she said. "How can we be a threat?" "They must have seen our tech," Daniel replied. "Or maybe they heard us talking to each other too much. Either way, they're scared." The United Nations held a big meeting that night. Leaders from every part of the world joined by video call. Some wanted to fight back, others wanted to obey. Most were just confused. "We don't have the power to fight them," Maggie told the group. "But we also can't let them control us." Daniel stood up. "We should respond, not with weapons, not with fear, but with cleverness." Everyone turned to look at him. "We can't lie," he said. "But we don't have to tell them everything." Maggie nodded slowly. "What if we made them think we weren't building warships, because we didn't believe in them?" "Peace," someone whispered. "Neutrality," Daniel added. The idea took hold. What if Earth didn't build warships? What if instead it banned them completely, not just for show, but officially? Some laughed. Others shook their heads. But a few saw the plan forming. If Earth could make the aliens believe they had given up war, maybe, just maybe, they could buy time. Time to grow, time to learn, time to become something more than just another planet in the galaxy. The next few days were filled with meetings, quiet talks, and late nights in small rooms lit by flickering lights. The message from space had shaken Earth, but it had also given them something unexpected, a chance. Daniel Harper and Maggie Bell sat in a secure room under the UN building. Maps of space, plans for ships, and lists of names covered the table between them. "We can't fight them," Maggie said, flipping through a report on Earth's military strength. "Not yet. But we don't have to give in either," Daniel replied. He leaned forward. "What if we made them think we agreed with their demand?" Maggie looked at him. "You mean lie?" "Not exactly," he said. "We make a public promise. We say Earth will never build warships again." She raised an eyebrow. "And then secretly build them?" "No," he said with a grin. "We build other things. Big ships, fast ships, ships that look like science labs or trade vessels, but they carry weapons. They carry power." Maggie thought for a moment. Then she smiled. "Smart." They took the idea to a small group of leaders who could be trusted. Some didn't like it. Others saw the trick. "If we do this right," one general said, "they'll never see us coming." So the plan was made. It was called Project Dove. It would be kept secret from almost everyone. Only a few would know the truth. Work began quickly. On Mars, behind its red rocks, engineers started building hidden bases. Around Jupiter, new shipyards opened, claiming to build research stations. In orbit above Earth, factories changed what they built. Not fighters, not tanks, but tools, shuttles, and cargo ships. But inside those ships, something else was growing. Luke Hayes was one of the first to find out. He was a pilot, once part of Earth's Navy, now working as a test driver for new space vehicles. One day he was called into a private meeting. "You're being assigned to a new ship," a woman told him. It's officially called the ESS Horizon. What's ESS? He asked. Earth Survey Service, she said, and unofficially. She smiled. A warship, pretending not to be. Luke grinned. I'm in. Across the planet, people like him were chosen. Pilots, scientists, soldiers, thinkers, all loyal, all smart, all ready. Earth had been given an order to stop building warships, and Earth would obey, just not in the way the aliens expected. The ESS Horizon was the first ship built under Project Dove. From the outside, it looked like a normal science vessel, long, white, with big windows and antennas for scanning space. But inside, it was something else entirely. Luke Hayes stood on the bridge watching the stars pass by as the horizon moved farther from Earth than any human ship had gone before. His crew was small but skilled. Some were scientists. Others were soldiers who had changed their uniforms for lab coats. Their mission was simple: go to the edge of human space, act like explorers, and see how far they could push the galactic concord without being caught. They reached the border zone after 2 weeks. It was a quiet place where no one really owned the space. Just floating rocks, old dust, and the remains of dead ships left behind by alien wars. That's when they saw them. 3 alien warships appeared on radar, sleek and dark, moving fast. They sent a message. Identify yourself and prepare for inspection. Luke sat down in the command chair and took a deep breath. This is the ESS Horizon, he replied. We are a scientific research vessel. We are not carrying weapons. We request peaceful passage. The aliens didn't respond right away. Then came the order. Open your cargo bays. Allow us to board. Luke glanced at his second-in-command, a woman named Karen Reed. She shook her head. They'll find the weapons, she whispered. And then we're done. Luke made a choice. We respect your laws, he said into the comm. But Earth has declared neutrality. We do not allow inspections without consent. Silence followed. Then, a warning. If you do not comply, we will open fire. Luke stood up. Karen, he said. Time to see if this works. She pressed a button. The lights dimmed for a second. Then the horizon vanished from sight. The alien ships scanned the area. No signal. No heat. No movement. Just empty space. Luke watched them circle, confused. He smiled. They can't see us, Karen said, surprised. Nope, Luke said. Let's see how long they look. The aliens stayed for hours, searching. Then, frustrated, they turned and left. Back on Earth, Daniel Harper and Maggie Bell watched the report come in. They bought it, Maggie said. Daniel nodded. Good. Let's make sure they keep buying it. Earth hadn't fired a shot. But they had just won their first battle. Word spread fast through the stars. The Galactic Concord had tried to stop the horizon, but it had vanished like a ghost. No scans could find it. No weapons could lock on. And when the alien ships left, the strange ship simply reappeared, untouched, unafraid. At first, many didn't believe it. But the recorded data was real. The horizon had outsmarted a war fleet without firing a single shot. Back on Earth, people began to feel different. Not just scared or confused anymore. Proud. Hopeful. Daniel Harper stood in front of a global broadcast, calm and steady. We are not a military power, he said. We do not seek war, but we will not be controlled. Maggie Bell watched from the side, arms crossed, smiling just a little. Earth started sending more ships into space. They all carried the same message: peace, neutrality, exploration. Officially, they were unarmed. Unofficially, each one was built like a fortress. Luke Hayes became a symbol. His mission had worked. He returned to Earth a quiet hero, but he didn't stay long. Soon, he was back in space, leading new missions to the far edges of human reach. Then came the next test. 2 alien factions, the Virex Dominion and the Karathi clans, went to war over a system rich in minerals. The fighting was brutal. Civilian worlds were caught in the middle. Refugees fled. Help was needed. Earth stepped in. Not with weapons, not with armies, but with food, shelter, medical aid, and quiet deals. The ESS Horizon and other ships arrived under the banner of peace. They helped both sides, treating the wounded, protecting the helpless. But behind closed doors, they also sold advanced tech, not weapons, but tools that made life easier, stronger, faster engines, better defenses, smarter systems. One by one, smaller alien groups started to notice. Earth wasn't just surviving in the galaxy, it was learning, growing, becoming something new, and some began to wonder. If Earth wasn't building warships, then what were they building? Back home, factories ran day and night. Orbital docks filled with new ships. Everyone wore the mask of science or trade. But deep inside their hulls, they carried power. Daniel knew the truth. This wasn't about hiding forever. It was about proving that Earth didn't need permission to stand tall among the stars. And soon, the galaxy would learn that peace could be a weapon too. The Galactic Conquered was not blind. They saw what was happening. Earth was spreading, quietly, carefully, but surely. Their ships moved where others feared to go. Their tech reached places alien powers had never touched. And worst of all, Earth wasn't playing by the rules they had tried to write. Behind closed doors, the leaders of the Concord met in a ring of floating stations orbiting a cold blue star. Some were tall and thin, their skin shimmering like glass. Others were short and thick, built for heavy gravity worlds. All were old powers used to control. They are breaking the agreement, one said. They banned warships, another replied, but they have something else. A third voice, calm but sharp, asked, "What if we send someone to look?" That's how the envoy came to Earth. Her name was Vela Tarn, and she arrived in a ship that looked like a blade slicing through the sky. She brought a small team, scientists, guards, and spies, though Earth didn't know which was which. Daniel Harper met her at the spaceport in Geneva. He smiled. He shook hands. He welcomed them as honored guests. They toured Earth for days. They saw cities that ran on clean energy, factories that built machines smarter than some aliens, orbiting labs where humans studied stars no one else had. Seen up close, Vela watched everything. She asked questions, she took notes, but she did not smile. At last, she made her request. "We must inspect your fleet," she said. "To be sure you follow the ban on warships." Daniel paused. Then he spoke, polite but firm. "We do not allow inspections of our defense systems," he said. "We are neutral, not helpless." Tension filled the room. Vela stood. "Then you leave us no choice." She left Earth soon after, but not empty-handed. Her report would carry warnings, and behind her, the stars began to shift. Back in space, Earth's hidden fleet kept growing. Luke Hayes stood on the bridge of the horizon, watching the edge of known space. "They're going to push harder," he said to Karen Reed. She nodded. "Then we push back, not with guns, not yet, but with silence, with strength hidden behind peace. And with every move they made, Earth climbed higher, not as a threat, but as something new." The attack came without warning. A fleet of enemy ships jumped into Earth space near the orbit of Mars. They were fast, dark, and deadly, not from the Galactic Concord, not officially, but their tech was alien. Their orders were clear. Destroy Earth's shipyards. End their rise before it begins. Earth's defense systems lit up like fire. Alarms rang across cities. Fighters launched from hidden bases. And high above the planet, the ESS fleet responded. Luke Hayes stood on the horizon, gripping the rail as the enemy closed in. "They're broadcasting a war signal," Karen Reed said. "Then let them think they found a target," Luke replied. The enemy fired first. Energy beams cut through space, aimed at Earth's orbital stations. Explosions bloomed in silence, but Earth had been ready. From behind the moon and inside asteroid belts, the ESS fleet emerged, not as warships, but as ghosts. The horizon led the charge. Its weapons, long hidden beneath peaceful hulls, roared to life. Missiles streaked forward. Point defense lasers lit up the dark, shooting down incoming fire. Karen watched the enemy ships try to regroup. They didn't expect this. "No," Luke said. "They thought we were weak." The battle was short. Earth's ships moved like hunters trained for this moment. AI-guided fire struck with perfect timing. Cloaking fields confused enemy sensors. Enemy ships burned and broke apart. Within minutes, it was over. 3 enemy vessels destroyed, 2 captured. None of Earth's ships lost. Back on the ground, Daniel Harper and Maggie Bell watched the footage come in. "They'll say we broke the D." "Peace," Maggie said. Daniel shook his head. "We didn't. We defended ourselves." Maggie looked at him. "And now?" Daniel smiled. "Now the galaxy knows. We don't need warships to win a war." The next day, Earth released the full battle data to every known species. The message was simple. "You asked us to ban warships. We did. You never said anything about peacekeepers." Across the stars, reactions spread. Some feared what Earth had become. Others respected it. And a few, just a few, began to wonder if they should stand beside this new power instead of against it. For the first time, Earth wasn't just surviving in the galaxy, it was setting the rules. The Galactic conquered had no answer. They had sent a message. They had tried control. Then came the attack, and their defeat. Now they had to face the truth. Earth was not what they thought it would be. In the weeks that followed, messages arrived from all over the galaxy. Some were warnings, some were threats, but many were something else. Offers. Smaller alien groups reached out, traders, explorers, even exiles. They wanted to talk, to trade, to learn. Some asked for protection, others offered alliances. Earth opened its first embassies on alien worlds, not as conquerors, not as soldiers, but as equals. Daniel Harper stood in front of a new flag, blue, with a golden circle of stars around a small Earth at the center. "The Terran Federation welcomes all peaceful species," he said in a live broadcast. "We do not seek war. We will not be ruled, and we will always stand for freedom." Maggie Bell watched from the back of the room. She smiled just a little. Luke Hayes was already far from Earth, piloting the horizon through deep space. His mission was simple now: explore, protect, and watch. Behind him, more ships followed. The ESS fleet grew every week. Each one still called a research vessel. Each one still officially unarmed. But the galaxy knew better. On Earth, people changed. No longer divided by borders, they began to see themselves as something bigger. Terrans. Not because they had taken the stars by force, but because they had earned their place. Back in space, Luke looked out at a distant world, green and blue like home. Karen Reed stood beside him. "They're watching us," she said. "I know," Luke replied. "Let them." He turned to the crew. "Set course for the next system. Let's see who's ready to meet us." Across the stars, the future was opening, and Earth was walking through it, not with fear, but with fire hidden behind peace, with strength wrapped in silence, and with a message clear to all. Earth was here, and it was ready.